Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. While speaking as a panelist at a Gleaner Editors Forum in Montego Bay in December 2003, former Superintendent of Police Newton Amos, who was the then commanding officer for the St. James Police Division, shocked those in attendance when he declared that Montego Bay is a drug den where high-profile criminals operate with impunity. Some of these men occupy prominent positions in the community and wield a lot of power. Amos's claim did not go down well with many prominent stakeholders in the western city, who demanded that he either produce a proof or retract the statement. However, Amos kept his mouth shut, and within a month he was gone, transferred to the St. Andrew South Police Division. While Amos never produced a shred of evidence to support his claim, it was no secret at the time that the Jamaican authorities were viewing Montego Bay as an emerging transshipment point for drugs which was being shipped from Central America to the United States. However, in the absence of evidence, it was seen as just a case of rumor mongering. However, all that changed on the afternoon of March 4, 2004 at approximately 5:30 p.m. Businessman Leebert Ramcharan, who owned and operated the Caribbean Showplace on Damali Beach, was on his way into the Wyndham Hotel in Montego Bay when he was forcefully attacked by a group of unknown men who bundled him into a car and drove him away. At first, news broke that Ramcharan was kidnapped. But the following morning, when the same men dragged fellow businessman Donovan Plucky Williams out of his bed at his Seawing apartment and led him away in handcuffs, official news broke that the unknown men who had taken the two men in custody were drug enforcement agents from the United States who were assisted by undercover Jamaican police officers based in Kingston. As the news spread of the arrest of the two men, it became a major talking point in Montego Bay, especially after they were flown by helicopter from Montego Bay to Kingston. Rumor even had it that the helicopter was flown over Ramcharan's luxury home to give him a last look at his property. News subsequently broke that United States President George Bush, who had labeled Ramcharan a drug kingpin, had the full support of the local authorities in the efforts to arrest him. Prior to that incident, the local police had raided Ramcharan's business place and had seized millions of dollars. However, every cent was returned after he took the government to court and won. After Ramcharan and Williams were arrested, the then National Security Minister, Dr. Peter Phillips, declared his arrest an important step in blunting the narcotic trade, which the government claimed was corrupting Jamaica's international image. Both Ramcharan and Williams proclaimed their innocence and fought the extradition warrant that was issued by the United States government through the local courts. However, after 3 years of fighting to avoid being sent to the US, the court ruled that they should be extradited. They were flown out of Jamaica to the US in 2007. While I've written numerous stories about the arrest of these two men, including the raids on their homes and the seizure of their material assets, in this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be looking at their trial and conviction in the United States and their lengthy prison sentences through a story which was published in the Jamaican Gleaner on March 6, 2008. The story read as follows. U.S. court convicts Jamaican for drug dealing. Jamaican drug dealers Leebert Ramcharan and Donovan Williams have been convicted in a U.S. court on drug charges. The ruling was made in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida after a 7 weeks jury trial. Ramcharan and Williams were both convicted of conspiracy to import and conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine. They face a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. Ramcharan and Williams were arrested in Montego Bay, St. James in 2004 and extradited to the United States last year. The trial against the two men began in January this year and including testimony from more than 15 witnesses, including officers from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Royal Bahamian Police Force, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, and civilians from Colombia, the United States, and Jamaica. The conviction of the men attracted global media coverage to include the well-respected Reuters. A Reuters story after the conviction stated the following: U.S. District Judge Patricia Seats sentenced Ramcharan to 440 months in prison. It was subsequently learned that Williams was hit with a similar sentence. In looking back at this story, it was definitely one of those unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica, from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Like and subscribe for more unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica.